Hello, everyone. Everyone is still joining in, so I'm just going to give it like 1 more minute while everyone joins, and then we can get started with the party. I still love to call my webinars a party because I don't want them to sound boring. So in the meantime, please free to use the question and answer area, even if you just want to say hi to me. A quick introduction about myself. I am Varsha Debas, and I act as a customer education lead at Decisions. And for the November series, this is our last webinar, so I am super excited about that. In November, we had like 4 webinars, trying to cover every single title. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you can watch the recordings as well. It's available on our education page. So anyone can please confirm to me the screen that you're looking at right now is my presentation. It's just always good to just confirm it. Anyone like can just tell me that the screen that you're looking at right now is my presentation, one that says project management meeting with decisions. Okay, Abby says no. Okay, then let me just should try it one more time. Okay, yes, we can view. Kevin says I see it. Yes. Oh, thank you so much. So then I think we all are here. I can see completely new names as well today, and some of the names who have been already with in our webinars as well. So few of the features that I will cover will be the stuff that we have already seen. So if you are completely have seen these features, it's okay. We're going to be just acting like a revision for you. But if someone who's completely new today, we're going to try to go very slow. And even if you have any questions about decisions at the end of the webinar, even if not related to what we cover, you can ask it and I'll try to cover it, okay? So I am going to share my team screen, right? And before I move forward, just wanted to give you a highlight. Lena asked as well that yes, you cannot unmute yourself and you cannot turn on your video, which is a good thing, right? Because in webinar, you can just completely relax. You can have your coffee, tea, sit folded legs, or you can even just lay in your bed with that cozy quilt and just relax and just see this presentation. If you're someone who want to use Decision by the side, you can do that as well. I'll be very happy and you can ask me questions side by side. But we have done it purposely that you cannot turn on your video or you cannot unmute yourself, but you can use the question and answer area to ask any question that you might have. So let's get started. This is the screen right now in which Decision is visible on my Microsoft Teams. As you know that you can use Decisions through Outlook as well as Microsoft Teams. Absolutely up to you how you feel most comfortable with. Right now, I am using the Teams area. So if you have not downloaded Decision in Teams, it's very simple. Simply click on these 3 dot buttons here. In Find an App, simply put the word Decisions, and you can just add it, and it will be added to your team taskbar right here. And once you click on Decision app, system's going to show you all the upcoming meetings, either you have organized or you have been invited to, as well as see all your past meetings as well. So now let's talk about project management. So if you have been in the idea of project management, if you're handling some of your projects for your company, even if it's about event planning, any company-wide coming up, any company gathering coming up, or investment meetings coming up, any project related to your product is coming up, you know what I'm talking about here, that it can be a lot of pain. And when I say pain, it's about meetings, because every project requires meetings. Every project requires you to get together, and it's just not 1 or 2 meetings. It requires a series of meetings together, and it requires a lot of Excel sheets, and it requires a lot of spreadsheets with all the color codings in it. How Decision can help you here is that we can automate these things for you. So instead of going into multiple apps, going into multiple places, everything can be done on one screen, which I'm going to show you right now. One good thing. Second thing, everything's going to be at one place. Call it your action item tracking, your task, any decisions that you have logged. Everything will be at one place. So you do not have to gather around the places to see your notes or gather around the places of what we discussed. Cool enough? Okay, so get started here. So I'm just going to cover all the features that you can use in your project management meetings here. Like I said, it can be repetitive for some of you, but I'm going to still cover it just to make sure that it's easy. So when you're on project management meetings and you click on this button called Create Agenda, the system's going to ask you, the first thing is to provide a storage location. Now, this part is very, very important because if you talk about any project management meetings, you might have a group in which all the members are present, right? It may be an event planning group, it can be a staff meeting group in which every people, all the members who will be related to these meetings will be present. So you can just simply select that team in which all the members related to that project is present. You can use that and you can move next. I'm just gonna turn off my video so that it's easy for you to completely focus on the screen instead of just looking at me. Though, okay, moving forward. So this is where you're gonna land on the magical screen. I call it magical because everything's gonna be taking place right here. You do not have to leave the screen for anything that you need. So you can simply come up in here and create an agenda. So let's talk about why agenda is so important for your project management meeting. So I'm just going to come up again because I think I cannot stay away closing my video here. So you must have felt it that when you go into your project management meetings, you all have certain ideas that you want to talk about. You all have some topics that you need to cover. But what happens is that whenever you start the meeting, some of the topic takes the majority of the time of the meeting and some of the topic gets left out. And then you guys just left out with some of the topics that were not even discussed. That leads to another meeting that gets scheduled to talk about the meeting that were left off. Also, it has happened that your items that you wanted to talk about that you couldn't share because some other person agenda item just took a long time. So that's why agenda building, a structured agenda building is very important whenever you are going in a meeting that is related to project management. So you can make sure that every topic that you want to talk about is taken care of. Very simple. You can simply click on this button called, you can start creating the agendas from scratch if you want to. Or you can also select the button called select template. If you have already a template available, you can do that. So systems is going to show you a preview of how agenda that you have saved in here. You can select that, save it, and everything that was there in your template will be carried over to your agenda. Again, if you are someone who has no idea how to create template, feel free to reach out in question and answer area. I will personally reach out to you to help you out with that. So in my case, I've used a pre-existing template that I have, and this is how my agenda looks like for a project management meeting that I've created. That first we will talk about the milestones that we have or review goals. It's going to go for 10 minutes, 25 minutes. So it's very important for every agenda item you assign a time, because in every meeting, the system's going to be showing a time tracker to you. As you can see right now, it's telling me that, okay, 2 minutes are left to cover this agenda item, you should move to the other agenda item. How it is helpful that you can make sure that your agenda item is heard and everyone is, you're just making sure that every topic is covered. That's one thing. The other very important item to create an agenda is that you can assign presenters to each of the agenda item. So if you have an agenda item and you know that who the person will be who will be speaking, you can click on this presenter icon and you can just assign people that maybe I want Ashley to take care of celebrate milestones. I can just select her name and apply. This is going to make sure that the presenter already knows that when is my agenda item and when I'm supposed to speak. Also, we give you an option that you can provide it a type as well. Type is basically to segregate your agenda items from different agenda items. And maybe this agenda item is particularly about just information, or is it about a decision? You can just decide that. Also, the other thing that you can do is that you can attach your presentations here as well. So if there's any Excel sheet, any spreadsheet link, or any presentation or Word, any type of file that you needed to add to that agenda item, you can click on upload file in here and you can just upload a file that's related to your, maybe I just want to add meeting minutes with decisions here. So I can just add a previous meeting minutes and I can simply hit save, and automatically my agenda, my attachment will be added to my agenda. Now, why it is so helpful to have an attachment in each of the agenda items if you have something to discuss is because every member who will be coming to the meeting have an authority first that they can watch it on the online version so that they can put up their comments. So if there's any comment that they want to put up to the document before they are joining the meeting, they can do that, or they can do it live as well. Second option we give you is to annotate. Annotate is a beautiful feature. If you want to create your own personal copy of the document, so if, for example, somebody has attached a layout of a project, that okay, this is something how the layout's going to look like, and you have certain pointers that you want to prepare yourself about, you can click on annotate and you can create your own personal copy. How it's going to be helpful is that you can be pre-prepared about the layout, and when the meeting starts, you can just open your personal annotated document, and then you can just talk about the topics that you have saved. Good thing is it's your personal copy, so nobody else will see it. And the other option they give you is called restrict access. So in case you have added any confidential document, you can grant access or you can revoke anyone's access from the document, so that you can make sure if there's any confidential document attached, you can just make sure that it's not available to that particular person, right? Also, in each of the agenda items, we give you an option that you can add tags as well. Now, tag is just like your hashtags that you add into your social media to separate your post from another. So if I want to talk about, if I have multiple projects in one meeting and I want to segregate agenda items for the project name or the related topic, I can just put up a hashtag here. So maybe for this, I want to push hashtag next steps, or I can just say project XYZ. Once I put any hashtag, why it's so easy is because whenever you are in your decision, in your future, you want to check any particular hashtag topics, it's very easy. Simply click on this search button here and just put that hashtag. Maybe I just want to say hashtag project XYZ, the exact hashtag that I just wrote. Click on search button here and automatically, okay, I think I have made a spell mistake here. Let me try some other hashtags. If I have used, perfect. So if I have put the hashtag next steps, automatically all the agenda items that I've ever created with this hashtag will just appear right here. So it's very easy for me to always check and segregate my topics in the later stage. Cool enough? Good. I am keeping a track of question and answer area, so please don't worry. Any question that you're putting it right now, I will try to answer it throughout the webinar or by the end of the webinar. And even if you are not able to cover these questions in the webinar, I will definitely reach out to you over an email about it. So once I have created an agenda, of course, I can click on this notification panel and I can notify everyone about that the agenda has been published. I can also update the meeting invitation. So every meeting has the agenda in it, so that nobody has to go and find at multiple places where the meeting agenda is. They can just simply open their meeting calendar and the agenda will be available there. In today's meeting, I'm not going to show you how it looks. You can just try it yourself once, and then if you have any questions, then you can just simply ask me. Okay. You must have noticed that every member will also have an option of suggest button here, so that if any agenda that you have prepared, all your invitees can come and they can suggest topics if there's any topic that they want to talk about. It's very, very useful in project management, is because you want to make sure that you hear every single member who wants to put up their points. So whenever they suggest any topic that they want to talk about, you will receive an email about it. Also, you will see all your suggested items right under here. So you can just always see that, okay, what were the suggested items? If you just want a glimpse of it, how it looks, I'm just going to show it to you really quick. If I click on suggest topic here, and I suggest that, okay, hey, in our event planning, let's do Secret Santa. I know it's very typical, but okay, December is starting, Christmas is here, we want to talk about Santa. So maybe we suggest a topic about, we want to have a Secret Santa. I just put up a 3-minute and I say that I want to leave that, maybe I want to take care of it. I can write a description about it and I can just simply send to the organizer of the meeting that, hey, this is the topic that I want to talk about, and I'm just going to take like 3 minutes of it. Now, as an organizer, of course, you will be notified about it. Also, you can just do the actions for these suggested items. You will see automatically under your screen, you will see all the suggested agenda items here. And now you can decide what you want to do with it, whether you want to approve it, reject it, or move to a meeting planner. Moving to a meeting planner means that if you like a suggestion, but you're like, okay, I'm not sure right now whether we can incorporate that in my event that's coming up or not, I can just move it, like it, park it in my meeting planner, and I can use it later on. So it's like a backlog. So you can decide if you want to use it later on. So it's very, very easy. I can just show it to you how it looks. So if I click on this drop down button, it's going to give me an option anytime called import from meeting planner. So it's just not for this meeting. Even if in the upcoming meeting, you want to use an agenda item that you have saved in your backlogs, you can click on this import from meeting planner. You can see all the agenda items that you have put it in the backlog. You can select that and you can just move forward with it. So very simple. Also, just wanted to let you know in here that anytime that whenever you are creating these agenda items and you want your other members to help you out with these, you can always go ahead and make them as your co-authors. This co-author is literally life-saving, so you do not have to worry about doing all the event planning and all the project management work. You can just simply ask other members to help you out. So you can make them a co-author in your meeting. So maybe I want to check that, okay, I want Jonathan to become a co-author, and automatically he will become a co-author for this meeting. You also have an option to make any member a permanent co-author as well. So when you click on this setting icon, you get an option of making a permanent co-author, and you can just simply apply it. How permanent co-authors are helping is that you do not have to use this step every single time. For all the meetings that's going to happen for this particular team group, automatically this person will be there as a co-author. Now he can create minutes of the meeting on your behalf. He can accept suggestion items that has been taken, or he can also help in creating the agendas. Great. Marco, I know you have joined late, but please do not worry about it. Recording will be shared as well for the webinar that we're doing right now. So don't worry, you can always go through the recording if you have missed out on anything. Cassandra, to help you with your question, you asked, is it necessary for everyone on the team to have decisions? Now, this is about that if somebody has a decision license, they can go ahead and they can collaborate on the meeting. Like they can suggest items, they can create minutes of the meeting, they can create my notes. But if you are someone who's just going to be there looking at the agenda, that's it, and you're not going to do anything with the agenda, then you don't need a license for it. Okay, I hope that explains. Now, moving forward, in every project management meeting, there are two important crucial items. One is called action items, and the other one is called decisions that you have logged. Very, very important. Action items is something that whenever you connect, you need to prepare some action items that, okay, what's going to happen next? What are the discussions that we need to take place so that we can move to the next steps here? So every single agenda item has an option that you can create a task in it. So once you click on this button called task, you can just simply create a task. Maybe I just want to say that, okay, hey, the task name would be event planning location search. So you say that, okay, hey, we just want to go ahead and we want to search for the event where the event's going to take place. And I want to share that, okay, hey, this task will be assigned to Manubhav. Maybe I want one of my colleagues to take care of this task, and I click on this add item, and the task will be created. Of course, a notification will goes out to him that a task has been assigned to him, and also you can make sure that you track all the action items, that what's happening to all your tasks that you have created for this particular group. So you have two options in here. When you click on this style called task, the green color, beautiful color, I love green color here. So you can decide whether you can click on the planner button or you can click on the Excel. When you click on Excel, all the tasks that you have created will be automatically be carried over in your Excel sheet where you can check what the status, or you can simply click on your MS Planner here. Decision works integrated with the planner here, so you do not have to worry about doing anything. Automatically, decisions do all the work for you. So I'm just going to give it a second while it loads here. Perfect. So this is my team channel that's called Varsha Demo Planner that I have created. And you would notice that every meeting that I have in this channel, there is a bucket created that tells me what all tasks are overdue. You can click on any of the tasks in here and you can check what the status of it. Were there any notes attached? Is there any attachment? What's going on? What's the progress here? So you can always track that. Good thing, in every single bucket, every single task will be available. So it's very easy for you to track the action items. Okay, perfect. Moving to the other item is called decisions. So if you are, whenever you are connecting, if there's a decision that you have taken, you can always log them so that it's logged and you know that, okay, this is what we have decided. Now we're not going to move back and keep discussing the same thing. We can move forward. So taking a decision is two ways here. One is that either you can just log a decision that, okay, this is what we decided on, or you can have a voting between these decisions. Okay, so I'm just going to show it to you really quick. So for example, let's talk about in feedback, question and concern area. I click on these three dot buttons and I say that, okay, hey, we made a decision here. And the decision was that the location will be Dreamland. Okay, and I can even write it in the description that, okay, hey, Dreamland is the location that has been decided for our party and we're going to use that. And whether it's in a proposed state, whether it's in a final state, you can select that and you can simply save. Good thing about logging this decision is that even if somebody is absent, if somebody didn't join the meeting for any reason, they can always come back, just quickly check the agenda, and they can always click on the decision style as well. They can just simply maybe click on list or Excel, like I explained in task. You can always click on Excel and you can just export all the decisions that you have taken, or you can simply click on the list button and you can see all the decisions that you have taken in this particular channel. Maybe one, I just confirmed that, okay, this is going to be the location, there's a software proposal. So these are all the decisions that we have taken and it can be available in the same place. Good enough? Perfect. Like I explained, there is one more way to use decision functionality is a voting. So let's talk about a scenario in which you're doing an event planning and you're talking about that, okay, hey, we have two locations in our hand, which one you want to use or which one are in favor of the members. You can have a voting about it. Now, voting can be done live in the Teams environment as well, which is really cool. Unfortunately, I'll not be able to show it to you in the Teams environment right now because I want to go to webinar, but definitely try it out. It's really amazing, but just want to let you know that voting is a premium feature, so it might not be there for you. So in case you're interested, I'm just going to show it to you how voting functionality looks like. So for example, in project leader updates, I maybe would just want to have voting between. The one decision is Dreamland. And the second decision location that we have in our mind is, let's just keep it simple and say Hilton Hotel. That we have a Hilton Hotel available and we just want to check that whether you want to keep it simple and have the event in Hilton Hotel. So as a owner of the team, very simply, you will just click on this decision button here. Click on the option that you have a voting between and click on just start vote. And automatically the voting will be available. Now, but before the voting starts, you just have to tell the system that how you will be conducting these meetings. So you can just put up a title here. Maybe I want to say location for the event, that this is my title. I can even just reorder these items and I can decide what's going to be the anonymity level. Now, very, very important. So you can decide so that all your members can just vote without any fear. You can decide the anonymity level. The one is open where you can see who voted for what. Very simple. The other one is called partial anonymity, where you can see who voted, but you will not see what did they vote for. Okay. Like for example, Morgan's voted for Hilton Hotel, maybe, but Lara voted for Dreamland. So you can always just decide that, okay, which is the, like who all voted and what, but you would just not see what did you vote for. Then comes the full anonymity. Very, very important, when you cannot see anything, like nor you will see who voted, neither you will see what did they vote for. The only thing that you're going to see is the final vote. That maybe Dreamland got 10 votes or Hilton Hotel got 2 votes. I want Dreamland to win, so that's why I'm just giving it 10 votes here. But okay, moving forward, you can even decide how the results will be. That do you want the results to be closed and hidden until the voting is closed, or you can just keep the results open. A quick use case about it is that if you are having a very confidential voting about who's going to be the project leader, you can just make sure that the voting results are hidden so that nobody gets influenced that, okay, which person is winning and they don't change their vote. So you can just keep it hidden. But if it's like a very casual voting, just like the location, you can just keep it open as well. And you can just make sure that everyone can see live that who's getting the more votes. And of course, you can just decide on the settings as well that if you want to give it a none of the above option and you want to close all votes are in. And also you get decide where do you want to send the notification for these votings. Do you want to send it in your meeting chat, or you want to send it in your Teams channel, or you just want to use a basic link for the voting and everyone can go ahead and they can just vote. Very, very simple. Like I said, voting can be done live in Teams environment, so which is really cool. So I really going to request you to go ahead and try it out because it's a really, really cool feature. Okay. I'm going to just cover one last topic in the project management here. Is that called custom numbering? Because we just have like 3 minutes. I'm going to cover that topic. But if you want to stay longer with me, you can stay, and we might be just going to cover the minutes as well later in the later part. So whenever you're creating the agenda items, we also give you an option of custom numbering here. So every project management meetings in which if there's any sequence of agenda items. So if I talk about a use case scenario, I have one of my clients who said that, okay, hey, Varsha, in all my project management meetings, any meetings that I have, I want it to be in a sequence, that 501, 502, 503 number. So we can segregate that our projects have a different number that they have. So you can go ahead and you can just customize your agenda numbering on the basis of that, whether you want it in a continuous manner, you want it in a meeting number, or you just want to keep it standard. Absolutely up to you how you would like to customize your agenda numbering here. If you have no idea how to do this, it looks too tricky. Like I said, just reach out to us personally, and we would love to get on a call with you and just figure it out with you with what's going to be the best way for it. But please note that this is a team setting. So any customization that you're going to do here will automatically reflect on your entire Teams channel that you are using here. Okay, beautiful. So that's about the project management in which these features are highly, highly useful for you, that you can have a customized structured agenda, then you can use your action items, you can use the decision area, and everything's going to be working in sync. So it's really easy for you to follow up. Like I said, we only have like, this is the time that we had, like 30 minutes. So this is all I wanted to cover. But if you want to stay longer, I want to check the minutes, meeting minutes as well, because this is like a hit topic. And I already have 2 questions about how I can use minutes of the meeting in project management. So if you want to do that, simply click on this minutes button here. And the system's going to ask you whether you want to select the Word template or OneNote. If you want to go with the Word template, simply select the Word template here, and the system's going to give you your file name. Once you click on Save, automatically the document's going to open up for you. So I'm just going to really quickly open this document right here. Very simple. On the right-hand side panel, Decisions Meeting Document Manager will open up. That's going to ask you what all do you want to include in this meeting minutes. So maybe I want to include agenda item description. If I've created any personal notes, I can do that as well. I can mark anyone absent who was not there, and I can simply click on this merge button, and everything that was there on decision area will be carried over to this document. Now, if you want to learn in detail that, okay, how minutes of the meetings are created, we did a very wonderful webinar just last week about meeting minutes and how you can do it in Word and OneNote. So I will be happy to share that link with you, the recording of that webinar. Just reach out to us and I'll be happy to share that. Okay. So I'm just going to move to the questions really quick in here. So Morgan, you have asked a question that when I create meeting in Teams link, the meeting of a team channel, and afterward create a decisions meeting, all with the access to team channel is getting notified. Okay, and how can I avoid this? Very beautiful question in here. So whenever you are sending the notification, you can simply click on these three lines on top in here. Go to your notify attendees. And once you do that, do not select this team channel option. So just make sure that whenever you're notifying, you're just notifying it by email. So the benefit of using email above team channel is that by email, the only it is sent to the people who are invited to the meeting and not to the entire member group. So maybe your team channel has 10 members, but in meeting, there are only 3 people who are coming continuously. So you can only just make sure that you notify them by email so that only those 3 people receive the notification about the agenda and nobody else. Okay. Okay. There's another question about how to get the link for the meeting minutes here. So just give me a second in here. I'm just going to quickly pull our decisions website. So this is our decision website in here. When you click on the resources button and go to webinar training, the reason I'm showing it in detail is so that it can be really helpful for you. You will notice that in this page, we have all the recordings available and all the upcoming events as well. So maybe this is the event coming up and these are the recordings we have. So you can always go there and check it out. I am sharing the link in chat as well, so you can take it from there. In case you don't receive it or you have any issues facing it, just reach out to us and we'll be happy to help. The other question we have is that can external guests see the side panel in the meeting? Very good question. So it's dependent upon how much access you have given to that person. That's one. And the second important part is that are they added as a member in your team? So if you have added that external guest as a member in a team, then they will be able to. But if they're not added as a member in the team, then they will not. So it's absolutely up to you. If the external guest is coming every single time in your meeting, you can just add them as a member. But if they're not coming, they're just in like a one-off meeting, then we will not recommend you adding as a member because then they get the access to every Teams thing. So then you can avoid. Okay, so we have one more question here. Creating tasks. Is it possible to create tasks and add tasks to already planner in same channel link to already created bucket? Absolutely amazing. Best question. No, I'm sorry for not saying the best question. I mean the really good question in here. When you click on these 3 line buttons and you go to your team settings in here, you go to your planner config, you will see the option of task and you can decide if you want to change the planner here. So you can do that. You can simply click on this change plan option and you can just change the plan if you have any existing planner available and you can use that for your task. Same, you can do it for decisions as well. You can do it for your meeting planner as well. Super. And I just got a very beautiful smiley from Morgan. So thank you so much for that. So I'm going to stop my screen sharing in here and come up with my face. So this was the series of all the webinars we did in November. I hope it was useful for you. I just realized that I didn't add survey for this webinar, but no problem. You can always reach out to us over our email if you have any feedback for us and if you want to share anything that you want. It was lovely talking to you guys and I'm going to miss you, but don't worry, we're going to be back. Every month we do webinars to teach our customers because it comes with a subscription. So do not worry, feel free to register for them. Even if you cannot attend live, we provide you the recording. So just register for them anyways. Ta-ta guys, in case we don't meet, Merry Christmas, have a Happy New Year, and God bless you. Bye-bye.